Hey yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Archie and Ambush behind the camera. Today we're going to be showing you guys how to change a brake fluid on a BMW F30. Let's go. Alright guys, so here we're going to start the process. So we have the jack and jack stands to jack up the car, secure your vehicle, and then we have the brake fluid we're going to be using. We have the spanner for the bleeder screw, and then we have this brake bleeder. So it's a brake fluid bleeder connecting to the air compressor, and then when you pull off the trigger, it's going to be sucking the fluid out to remove the old fluid, pulling the new fluid in. Let's go. First step, you're going to be removing this cover panel here. You got 3 10mm nuts here, 90-degree quarter turn, turning all of them. Then you're holding the hook here, lifting up, sliding towards you and sliding out. And here is a brake fluid reservoir. We're going to be opening the cover. So the next step, you're going to be removing the filter from inside here. You can take anything, flathead screwdriver, pick, or even just your hand, pry it out and get a cloth ready just to collect any remnants of the fluid. Make sure it doesn't go on your paint. So this is your filter here, remove your filter. Alright guys, so you're going to be using the brake fluid bottle, vacuum brake bleeder, and we're going to be removing some of the fluid. We're not going to let it run dry, so you're not going to remove all of the brake fluid, because if all of the brake fluid does go down, there'll be air bubbles in the ABS module, and then you'll need to bleed that with a scan tool. So you're just going to be removing a little bit here. Alright guys, so next step after I drain as much brake fluid as you could from the brake reservoir is you'll be starting from the wheel furthest from your brake reservoir. So in this case, our reservoir is on the driver's side, which is the right hand side of the vehicle, because this is a right hand drive vehicle. So we'll be starting on the left rear passenger side here. So I'm just jacking up the car, and we're going to be removing the wheel to get access to the blade nipple. So we're going to be using Keys 17mm protective wheel nut socket. So it goes on and it makes sure that you don't scratch your rim in any way if you get in contact here. So be sure to pick up one Keys 17mm wheel nut socket. Link will be in the description. So one tip to prevent your wheel from just falling off: keep your foot on the bottom of the wheel and just remove your bolts. You log. You have Princess fastened to inspect the work so far. So have a quick look at the tires. Make a quick check. Make sure that the tires are cutting even. You see we got a nail here. As usual, every time we check in tires we always get a nail. But no air leak so far. Tire holds pressure. So this is a look at your brake setup and your wheel hub. You have the bleeder nipple located right here behind the caliper. So you're good. So you're just going to be removing the cap on the nipple there, connected to the vacuum line, and then we're going to be sucking out the old brake fluid from the lines. So you're going to be filling the reservoir to the max with the new brake fluid, because you're going to bleed out some, so you can overfill it in the beginning. So this is what we're doing now. If you want, you can use a funnel. So here you have your bleeder nipple. So you're going to be attaching the vacuum brake bleeder. Attach it on, and then connecting your air hose to the bottle. So you're connecting the air hose here, and you adjust your setting here. So I have it all the way open, and you're going to be cracking your bleeder screw, and then when you crack your bleeder screw, you're going to be bleeding, and you'll see the whole brake fluid running down into the line, filling the bottle. So when the bleeder screw is cracked, just get ready with your bottle. Right, so the bleeder screw is loose. Get ready. So you can see the fluid is running down here, coming into the bottle. Okay guys, so here we have a brake pad wear indicator tool. So you got different measurements. So the lowest one is 2mm 3. So this is when you know your brake pad gotta change. So here we're just gonna be using it to check the quality of our brakes left. So you're just choosing one, slotting it into the area where your brake pad is. You see it's fitting in. Check one lower down. 4mm. So we have just between 4 and 5mm. So let's say 4.5mm. This is on the yellow, so you know we still have some brake pads left. If it's down to the red, you know you want to get your brake pads changed immediately. And another tip, just to make sure that your wheel doesn't stick, you just take a wire brush and pass it over here to get rid of any rust that builds up just over this area too. So next time when your wheel is coming off, you won't have any issues. Alright, so this is a quick look at the difference in the brake fluid color. So this is how you're going to be able to identify when the new brake fluid starts coming out when you're bleeding. You can see in the line here, the new brake fluid started coming out. So it's very light in color versus in the brake fluid container here. This is the drain container, how dark the fluid color is. So there's a vast difference in color, so you can easily ascertain when the new fluid starts coming through. So that's how dark the old fluid is versus some of the new fluid in the brake line there. Okay guys, so after your bleed nipple is securely tightened, you want to just replace your rubber boot over it to just make sure that no dust gets in there, and then you're going to be replacing your tire. So your wheel here now, get it into place. Take your lock bolts. So on your lock bolts, if there's any gunk in the threads, you just take a wire brush, pass it through the threads, clean it out to make sure that your threads won't be damaged or you won't damage the threading in your rotor here. Alright guys, so we have the furthest wheel from the brake reservoir done. So you're just going to repeat the same steps 3 more times for the other wheels, starting from the next furthest wheel, in our case which should be the right rear side. Then we'll be doing the front left side, and finally we're going to be doing the front right side as the last one. So just repeat the process, and that's pretty much it. Alright guys, so last step, we're just going to clean the filter with some compress here. Just make sure it doesn't splat everywhere, so it's very low pressure. You're going to be blowing it out with. From the inside of the screen you're blowing. So you're blowing this way, so usually the screen is this way. So fluid is being poured here, you're blowing in the opposite direction to remove any contaminants or particles that are stuck and pour to the screen. After that, just gonna take the screen and tuck it directly back in the reservoir. Straight down, and that's it. Take your cap, replace your cap, tighten it, and that's it. So for the last step, you're just gonna be reinstalling this cover here. Slide it in, make sure the grooves are aligned here. Go under the rubber stripping here, the weather stripping. Tuck it in under, raise and slide in. When it's fitting there like that, then you just tuck your weather stripping all the way over it. Come in this way, make sure there's a spike here. You're making sure that it goes down into the groove, just like that, right under the hook here. Tuck it down under the groove, and
Help. And then after, you just take in 10mm, turn it 90 degrees. These 3 nuts, plastic nuts, so don't go mad. 90 degrees, your 2 arrows will line up, and that's it. Your job is done. Alright, so last step, we got our torque set to 100 foot-pounds. So we're just gonna torque all the wheels all the way around. So most of them already right up to the torque.
So remember, you're going in a star pattern diagonally. So you start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Always going in a diagonal pattern. Alright guys, so that's a wrap. That's the brake fluid change on a BMW F30. It's pretty much the same for any other vehicle.
Very simple tools you need. Basic tools, you saw it. And it's a do-it-yourself, so you can follow the procedure. Drop a comment below if it helped you out and what you guys want to see next. Any questions, just drop them in the comments below or tag us on Instagram and we'll answer it for you guys.
So hit the subscribe button, like the video, drop a comment as Amri said, and share the video, and we'll see you guys for the next one. Trini Vlogs out.